Hello everyone. I would like to talk about today of certain states of mind in which human beings go through when they are adjusted to a different sensitivity of reality but are forced to act insensitively. So what that means is that when a person who is normally and gently calm and let's say harmonious or happy or you feel good, when there are others that come around you that suddenly irritate you or agitate you or push you to a point where you're pulling to be free, you simply see that we accept what we do innately before we do it. And that is how we are in that moment even. Because what you cannot consider, you cannot even be presently aware of. So in other words, there have been many existential patterns that have been considered to allow man to become the spotlight for now. You will see that someone who doesn't normally hit or is not aggressive, when they are pushed to their aggression, when they are pushed to their limit, they will act harshly because they're not stupid. In other words, regardless of someone, if you hit someone, if you bother someone, they will respond because you're causing something. It is not that the effect is not there. It's simply that what is happening to that person is an immediate experience of a sensitivity and intensity of life they don't have. So when most of their experiences are defined with gentle experiences, suddenly they go in an intense experience and all they can do is actually become aware of what is going on. But even that can be limited if you are too engaged to act. When we see a reality that has both unified realities and separate realities, we see that you lose yourself when you forget you have found yourself. And so insensitivity simply begins being an action that is teaching you because it's showing you where your natural preference of a harmonious life is. There are some people who are mistakenly conditioned to believe that they cannot do some things because they've never seen anyone do it in front of them. If I've never seen someone do archery and I see a bow and an arrow, I will still have an interest, but I might not know how it's used, So knowing things means allowing things to naturally be perceived integratively. And so the being who goes into an insensitive reality must realize that its potential to be in a gentle reality and a harsh reality is equal when it has had experiences of both. But when we say you have gentleness, it's because once you are gentle, once you're looking at perhaps the stream rather than the waterfall, you simply see that in gentleness, we get a potential to do a work that man's agitated self cannot complete. Because man's agitated self gives him an individuality which he feels he cannot see beyond. You need to see what is creating a sense of individuality, and if once you observe that, you're not thrown into worlds where you're confronting the other side, because once you confront the other side, you become okay with what you are. Once you see that your action could be both right and wrong, there is the freedom in expression. Because if God was to only create good action, we would never see change in ways where we can learn from mistakes. Right and wrong are based within the conception of man to see things as he identifies himself individually. But when that identification becomes experientially absorbed within the moment to be a sense of now and a sense of innate knowing in regards to everything you need to do, you simply see that man's natural allowance lets nature guide him to where he must go. And so there have been many beings in life that have been similar. So there's a story of a being named Guru Padmasambhava, which I've talked before. And this Tibetan Buddha, this man, at some point in his life, a certain turmoil happens or a certain problem begins happening at some other end of the, some other part of the world or something, some other part. And he naturally just knows and begins walking there to go fix the problem. You see, you want your sensitivity to life to be so intense that not only all of life is talking to you, but you are getting more access to an innate knowing of what other events are happening within your conception of space and time. And so man is at a point where he doesn't know what reality is or how real his reality is, but the only way he has ever had experiences of any reality was ones of immediate action being made aware of in the moment. Once you see you have always been walking, you don't need to learn how to walk again. Once you see you know how to ride a bike, you don't need to fear the fall. Because man falls to learn. Because man needs to be given a lower sense of self to then find his own greatness within all things. Because you will see that if you keep polarity in your search for your existence and your existential awareness, you will see that you are keeping something that needs to be let go of. The mind of man may be satisfied with stories, but its greatest satisfaction comes when there is nothing else to say but everything to hear. Listen to ears that belong to all voices. Much blessings and namaste.